How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today we're finally putting my cheap Lamborghini back together. Does anybody remember where any of these bolts go? So if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you guys like it. Subscribe if you like what you see. This is my 2008 Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, and it is in the process of being put back together. Now, I have done a lot. Well, not really a lot in terms of stuff inside the engine, but we've done a lot as far as painting and cleaning up and making sure that this isn't a ticking time bomb. So today is going to be the first day of reassembly. That means that we start putting all the major components back, mainly the transmission. We button everything up, we make sure everything is torqued to spec, and then we can worry about things like fuel lines and actually making the car run. That is something I'm really excited about. I don't think we're gonna get to the running part in this episode, but I wanna show you guys what it takes to put one of these things back together in your own garage and doing it the right way. All right, so the first place we're starting is the flywheel, which isn't on the engine right now because it's right here. Now, I cleaned it with some sandpaper. It's not 100% perfect, but it is very clean. It's smooth to the touch, and this is exactly what we want for the clutch to grab onto it. You don't want any oils or any debris on here. But when we put it on the engine, you'll notice that there's a little divot here. There's a little dowel on the crankshaft, and that corresponds to a little dowel right here. That's because this is all balanced. It's balanced on the crankshaft, and that's very important for you to get this thing aligned properly. Goes just like that. I have checked that the rear main seal is okay. That all seems to be fine. It's not leaking any oil. It's not even seeping, so we don't have to worry about that. The pilot bearing also is totally fine. This is a little bearing right here inside the crankshaft. So usually people will want to change these, but mine's fine, and I don't think it really needed changing anyway. So right now, what I want to concentrate on is making sure all the bolts that secure this flywheel onto the engine are secured properly and in the right order. On most bolts on the engine, you don't really need to torque them down to spec. Good enough is good enough, but on rotating assemblies, stuff that you don't want to be taking apart a lot, this is really crucial. Anytime you're working inside the engine, you want to make sure everything is torqued to spec, and every time you're working on the clutch, which is a balanced assembly, as I said before, you want to make sure everything is torqued to spec. Now, the spec for this is 70 Newton meters, or right about 51 foot-pounds, and they're attached with these bolts. Now, these bolts are a little bit different than what you'd get in, say, a normal European or American car. Usually, European or American cars, they use regular hex bolts, or sometimes they use like Allen keys. These are sort of like Allen keys. I don't know if you can see this, but they are 12-sided. And they're called triple square bolts. And to get these off, you'll need a triple square socket. And I got a set of these for about 10 bucks at my local auto parts store. So these slot in very well. And we're gonna torque these things to spec, but before we do that, I wanna make sure that these are clean and oil free. And then I'm gonna give them a little bit of thread sealant. Now I have this Permatex Thread Locker Blue. This is what you need on stuff that you're gonna take out every once in a while, but it's gonna make sure that that thread is locked properly. See, the Thread Locker Red, that's like stuff you never wanna take out. So this, while it is a serviceable item, we're not gonna take it out all that much, so this is perfectly fine. And also, that's what the factory service manual calls for. And you do wanna make sure that all the threads are clean. You don't want any binding, because that will affect your torque rating when you go to torque these things. And the way you torque them is with this. This is a torque wrench. A lot of you guys know how to use this, but in case you don't, it's basically like a regular ratchet, except it has this end right here, and you can adjust the torque. And when it gets to a specific torque, meaning that it gets to a specific turning force, it clicks. right here. You can hear a clicking from the head, and that's the way you know that they're tightened properly. So I use this Harbor Freight torque wrench. It's a 3/8 inch drive, and it's actually a pretty decent quality example. Now, Harbor Freight and torque wrenches, I have talked about it in my podcast. By the way, go subscribe to Wrench Everyday Podcast right now. I've said that sometimes the calibration can be a little off. Now, what you can do to combat this is when you are done with torquing everything, don't leave them tight. Just loosen them to make sure that the springs and whatnot are left to the tension that they came from the factory. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't be set incorrectly from the factory, but it does mean that you'll get a little bit more longevity out of your Harbor Freight torque wrenches and torque wrenches in general. That's just a good rule of thumb. But let's get all these on, and then we have to torque them in sequence. And the sequence I actually got from the Lamborghini service manual right here. So it tells me in what order and what the torque spec is, which is 70 Newton meters. And then we're going to do the clutch. And then it's going to be interesting because I don't actually have a clutch alignment tool. The clutch alignment tool is something that you really do need, especially with a multi-disc clutch like I have. So I think we're going to get a little bit creative. But I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to get to work. All right, now that we have the flywheel on and it is clean and it is torqued and everything is ready, now we can finally get the clutch on. And this is not your normal clutch. Like I mentioned before, this is a twin disc clutch. One disc is right here, the other disc is right here. There's a floater plate in between them, and the pressure plate is right up here. So it presents a little bit of a problem because usually on clutches like this, you would need a clutch alignment tool. And I do have a clutch alignment tool. It's just a universal one, and this is what a clutch alignment tool looks like. This slots in to the pilot bearing right here, and then this just goes over the clutch. It's a little bit tapered, and that way you kind of clamp it down, and then the clutch is supposed to align itself. That's the idea, at least. On this, it's a little bit different because there are two splined hubs, and the splined hubs have to be exactly the same as one another. So what I'm going to try to do is a little bit unorthodox, and usually people would have a clutch alignment tool. I couldn't get one. I couldn't find one for this engine. It's actually really, really hard. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of get the clutch in the correct-ish orientation, and then I'm going to do up like 3 of the bolts just hand tight so the clutch can move around just a little bit. Then I'm going to install the transmission, being very, very careful to make sure that the engagement is going on both discs. And then when engagement is on both discs, I have enough room in the starter hole where the starter would live, but it doesn't live now because it's not connected. I'll be able to do up the bolts a little tighter, and I'll be able to rotate the engine and get a few more bolts in there. So then it should hold the clutch in place. I'll take the transmission off. Then I will do up all the bolts as they're supposed to. Then I can reinstall the transmission, and hopefully that should work. The reason I'm doing that and not just kind of eyeballing this is because this hub right here, there are rivets, and if this is a little bit off kilter to one side, these rivets can rip out. And I've had this happen before on a Nissan Maxima clutch, and it was also a spec clutch. And I don't think it was the clutch's fault necessarily, but it might just been user error. So I'm not going to repeat that again. And we want to make sure that everything is aligned 100%. So it's going to take a little while, but I think we need to do this. So let's get to work. Okay, so that actually took a lot longer than I thought. So much, in fact, that it's another day. I have another shirt, and I actually did get this transmission in there. Now, I'm kind of thinking that I shouldn't take this off again because I have enough room in that starter access hole right there that I could actually do up all the bolts if I just use my handy dandy crank rotator tool here, and I just stick it in here and then just rotate the crank normally. So I should be able to do up all the bolts with the transmission in place, and then we can connect the clutch line and actually bleed the clutch, because I want to know if the clutch is engaging and disengaging like it should. And if that's the case, that means we basically fix this clutch for free, which is really, really good. And after that, we're going to be putting on the axles. I actually have to change this axle, but I want to put it on just so we can get the car running in the meantime. Then we're going to put on the back bracing here. It's like a back part of the frame that's removable. And then we're going to route some lines, and I think that's going to be it for today. Well, we just had our first casualty of this build, and it is a clutch bolt. Look at that. It just sheared when I was trying to torque it. So I think that since I don't want this to happen on the road, and these are getting put under a significant amount of pressure, I think I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to get some grade 8 bolts just to replace these, because yeah, it's a setback, but it's something that we can do. Hopefully the end of this isn't stuck in that flywheel. I hope I'm not going to have to take off that flywheel, but we might have to. So as always, it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back. All right, so I got a little bit of work done off camera, and yeah. You guys make sure that you chase all the threads, especially when a car's been sitting for a long time. Apparently, this car's been sitting for 3 years before I got it. So since the flywheel, it seems to have been corroded, or there was some corrosion on it, I just chased the threads with this thread chaser from Harbor Freight. It's a M6 by 1.0. That's the measurement of the thread here. But I also went to the hardware store and I got these. I got some bolts, and they should fit the bill. Now they're not grade 8 like I said before. These are actually grade 10.9, and I'm not sure what the grading scale is for these things, but I know that these things are pretty robust, and they're galvanized, meaning that they are very resistant. They have this coating, and it's resistant to rust, and that's exactly what we want, because I don't want any rust going on these and weakening them in any respect. So these should fit the bill quite nicely, and all I have to do now is put the clutch back on. I managed actually to get the broken part of the bolt out of the flywheel, so you can see the broken bolt here, and the other side is right here. It actually came out really quickly, but you can see that it was just eating into this corrosion. There's like a little corrosion layer here. I did put on some thread locker, but it didn't do much good. So yeah, make sure your bolts are up to snuff. This definitely wasn't. So right now, I'm just gonna do whatever it is I told you I was gonna do before, but now I'm actually gonna do it. Hopefully. Hey guys, how's it going? Everything on my end is going pretty well, except for the fact that my brand new bolt just snapped. So, yeah, this is the second bolt that snapped, and this is a good grade. It's galvanized, and which shouldn't help with strength, but it is a brand new bolt, and I chased the threads, so the threads are clean. What I'm thinking is that the factory service manual is wrong. So the factory service manual is probably not even from the Lamborghini factory, but yeah, it said to do it up to 70 Newton meters, which is around 51 foot-pounds, and that's way too much. The problem is I can't even put it to like 30 foot-pounds, because if I put it to 30 foot-pounds, this just spins until it snaps. The most I can get it to is like 20 foot-pounds. So I think if I can't figure out a solution, then that's what I'm going to have to do. But I think I'm going to stop here for tonight, just because it's literally midnight, And I want to hear from you guys. I don't want to go further on this because if I button everything up and I did something wrong, then I'm gonna have to take everything back off again. And the way this thing broke, I'm gonna have to take off the clutch, put the transmission on there, then take it off again when it's aligned. So it's a pain in the butt, but I need your help. You guys can maybe help me. Some people that have twin disc clutches, especially spec. What's the torque rating on these bolts? These are brand new bolts, and I chased the threads. Everything should go together well. I am using some blue thread locker, so just like the factory service manual instructed me to. So what torque specs are you guys using? Have you run into this problem before? And no, I'm not going to just leave one bolt out even though there are 9 bolts in there. I'm not doing that. Not on a car like this, not on a car with this much power. Yeah, I'm a little bummed, to be honest with you. I'm a little bummed, I'm tired, and but we will get this done. We will get this done hopefully tomorrow in tomorrow's episode. Sorry this episode wasn't more fruitful and we didn't get more done. It might be actually pretty short, but I wanted to let you guys know what the reality is of working on these things. Sometimes they don't go together all that well. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to lick my wounds and we'll try again tomorrow, but I would like your feedback. So that's it for today's episode. Stay tuned tomorrow when we maybe get some more stuff done. Ooh. If you'd like to contact me, you can reach me at TheRealTavarish. That's Instagram and Twitter. Facebook.com/AskTavarish and AskTavarish@gmail.com is my email. I read every single one. You guys have been really good at giving me tips and tricks, and I hope you guys give me some tips for this. This is a very tired me, reminding you guys that on cars like this that need some work to get running, you guys need to wrench every day.